Hey guys, so I just wanted to make a little video on Mercy tips, like how to play, because I've been playing, I don't really consider myself like a pro, but I have been playing for like a good amount of time, I guess, since Overwatch 1, like, I don't know, 2020. So for like 2 years, I've been on Mercy, so I feel like I have a pretty good idea of how to like work around her and everything. So, like, mechanically, Mercy is, like, pretty easy compared to most of the healers. Support, not healers, support characters. But I started playing Mercy personally back then, only because she was the only one I could figure out how to play. And I didn't feel like going through the trauma of playing as a damage character. I still don't, but you actually have to pay pretty good amount of attention to literally every player on your team and make quick decisions on when to heal and who to heal and then who to amplify for damage and then when to amplify damage. So, first thing, most importantly, your yellow beam and your blue beam. Your yellow beam is the healing one. It's the one that allows you to boost people's health. I don't know how many HP they get back per second, but and then the blue beam, my favorite beam actually, I use it way too much, but it is the one that allows you to boost damage, which comes in handy. So first, I like to have like a 60-40 thing going on. So like 60% of my beam usage will be for my yellow beam, which will be for healing, and then 40% of my beam usage will be for the blue, which is for damage boosting, because I feel like if I'm spending too much time healing, yeah, they're not dying, but nobody else on the opposing team will be dying either because my team isn't able to do enough damage to kill them. Yeah, so I like to use my blue beam quite a bit just to boost everyone, and especially damage boosting or pocketing Soldier, especially during his ult, Pharah, like all the time, unless Pharah's not good. If your Pharah's not killing anyone, even with you pocketing them, it's time to move on, it's just time to let go and move on to the rest of your team. But Roadhog has actually been a favorite of mine recently to pocket, especially during his ult, but rather than damage boosting, you're more just healing, because everyone on the opposing team is trying to kill Roadhog because his ult is literally the most obnoxious thing ever. I love it though. I love it when it's on my team. So, yeah, especially for Roadhog, I'd focus more on healing during his ult. So yeah, and one of the most important things I feel is don't solo push. Like, unless you're holding the objective, like at 99%, there's no reason for you to go in there alone. It's honestly a waste of a life, because unless you're like a full-on pro diamond ranked battle Mercy, there's no reason for you to rush in there. It's definitely not worth it. And another thing you shouldn't do alone is heal. If there is a second healer, which there usually is, and they're playing as someone who can heal, which they have to, you need to have help healing, because solo healing as a Mercy is incredibly stressful, especially when half the time your team is splitting up and running around away from you, but then they're also like screaming that they need healing, but it's like they need to all stick together, and having two healers allows one healer to go with another group and you to stay with that group, so it makes it a lot easier. And especially don't go for risky revives or reses, but it really doesn't benefit you or anyone else in the end, because unless you're reviving like a tank, you're leaving another support character, another damage character in a spot where it's 5-1, and while you can get out of that situation, it's incredibly unlikely, especially since the team will most likely kill you. I would just focus on like not hiding, but like getting back to your team, regrouping, and then attacking all as one group. If your teammate is running away from the main group, don't chase them. I've done it. Don't chase them. Leave them. Let them die. They'll learn their lesson eventually. No, don't let them die. That's kind of mean. But I think it's important that you try to keep all of your teammates together, especially when you ult, Guardian Angel, I think it's called. When you're in the sky, you can heal. It's like a chain that goes through all of your teammates. You can heal multiple people at once and damage boosting multiple people at once. It's honestly like something very critical to getting through that final chokehold point. So I think keeping your team together is important. Don't use your ult if there's only like one person there. I know it can be used to escape, but honestly, I think that's a waste of an ult, because if you're escaping, it's like you could just fly to another person, and if your whole team's dead, again, there's no reason to solo push or solo anything. Just wait for your team to arrive. Another thing you can use your ult for, which I particularly love doing, is if there is a Pharah or an Echo on the opposing team. They're flying, but it's especially fun when you go up your little Mercy wings and you shoot them down. That's one of my favorite things to do. So I would recommend doing that when you ult. Just don't waste it on an escape. I feel like if it's absolutely necessary, go for it. But if it's not, I wouldn't use it. It's kind of a waste. Another thing, do not abandon your team. Yes, Battle Mercies. I love you guys. You guys are impressive. It's awesome. But do not become a DPS Moira. Those are like the most obnoxious people on this planet. You should not have 16,000 damage and 2,000 healing. It should be the other way around, because you are playing as a support character. The most effective way to heal, Valkyrie heal, the most effective way to heal is in the sky. As I said before, the chain connects everyone. So Mercy is a very, very squishy character, probably the most squishy character. So it's definitely better when you're healing in the sky to stay behind an object or stay behind your tank, because they're huge, if it's Roadhog. Or just stay moving around, and the second you start getting shot a lot, I find it's better to stay low near the ground, because you're still healing your teammates in a chain, but you're also not as easy of a target as you are in the sky. So, another don't try to heal people out in the open during an enemy ult, especially if it's Soldier or McCree. Not McCree. What's his name? Cassidy. Especially if it's Soldier, Cassidy, or Pharah even, your teammates should know, you should know, that you should hide whenever you hear any of those characters' names, unless you completely believe you have an absolute chance of taking them out. I don't believe you do during Pharah or McCree, Cassidy's ult, but Soldier, I think it's a pretty good chance. Don't be afraid to remind your teammates that they should stick with you, because you are the support and they need you. You do need them. I do believe that if you don't win all the time, it's not your fault. Don't feel bad. Especially as like a Mercy or a support character, you rely a lot on your damage and tanks to do their jobs. Like the amount of eliminations you're getting, the faster you're eliminating people, the faster you're able to get to your destination and push the robot or capture the objective or deliver the payload. So I do think a lot of the time it's your damage and take that play those crucial roles in deciding who wins or not. But yeah, do not be afraid to remind your teammates that they need to be near you, because they need you. And be aware of the other support character on your team. That's a big thing, I find, because you guys, support characters usually are all worried about healing, the damage, the tanks, because they're solo pushing and it gets really annoying, and I know. But the second healer, it makes it a lot easier if they are alive, especially on you. So I would also really focus on healing them. And as I said, do not feel bad if you lose. It might be your fault if you have a really little bit of healing. So check your stats at the end of the game and see if it is your fault. But you don't need to win all the time. Do not feel bad. You rely a lot on your damage and take, as I said, to get to that finish point and help you guys win. So thank you. I'll probably do another one of these for Baptiste or Lucio, or really any other support character. I play almost all of them except Zenyatta. I don't know what's going on with him. I haven't since 2020. Tried him once, never again. Trying to learn him, but it's a bit difficult. So let me know what character you would like me to do a little tutorial on, and I'll help you. Thanks for watching.
Or misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. Damn, what a hell of a